Great morning, y'all. This is We All 5/5. We're going to start today off with a little message from someone else's voice.
I want you to watch this because they're already planning to take your life.
Yeah.
The police are no longer police, they're soldiers. They have their bulletproof vests, they have their riot gear, they have their tasers, they have their pepper spray, they have heavy weapons. We used to be able to speak in armories no more because the armories are filled with armored personnel carriers and tanks. You remember when Brother Khalid was here and we had the topographical center? He used to tell you about all the roads around the city, see? Yeah, defense highways are what they called, and how the tanks was gonna roll. Well, they ready now. They've been down in Fort Hood, training on house-to-house combat. The black community are like the Palestinians. You got some AK-47s, but the Israelis got F-16s, helicopter gunships.
Stop that right there. How you going to go to war like that? How is that even mentally possible for you to say we're going to go to war? Right? Well, we got a few AKs. These motherfuckers got helicopters with fucking 50 cals. Fucking chopper. Fucking 50 cal. You know, 50 cal, them shells go through a fucking car, front to back, motor and all.
Personnel carriers, tanks, bulldozers. Then they got your neighborhood surrounded. Go ahead, rise up. You cut off the water, cut off the gas, cut off the electricity, won't let a food truck in. You rape the supermarket until there ain't nothing there.
They ain't gonna fill
A
out
few days you're hungry. And he said, come out. Come out. The helicopter gunships flying over Watts. That's right. The helicopter gunship flying over East LA.
The past.
Spraying you with 50 caliber machine guns. You
talking about
like
the past.
blood, huh? Let me tell you what the Bible said. See, God came to save us because he loved us. But we are so filled with hatred. And all you gangbangers that know how to say Assalamu alaikum
Some true shit right here.
and then kill your brother when that's supposed to mean peace. See, that means you know what you're doing.
All right,
Remember I was telling you about...
Now let's stop right there, right? The unity we have in us is in our DNA. How can you tell? We show it over and over again. Sports, you have all these teams, right? What they say in the team, if you're in the team, you have the best chemistry, no drama, no nothing, you will win. What's that mean? That means if you and your team are united, right? You unite on football fields, basketball courts, baseball fields, soccer fields, rugby fields, you unite everywhere else, right? They say if you unite to a point that nobody can stop you, right? You unite everywhere except there. You know what I mean? It's in the DNA. You unite on the streets. You get down with gangs. And you want to be so much in unification that in your gang, within that, you will get down with a whole nother division, which is called the set, and you congregate in smaller sections because that's how much we crave unity. And I say that to say this, right? It's funny how the government will allow gangs, quote and unquote, like Bloods, Crips, and all these GDs, VDs, all this shit, right? But when your initial Black Panther that was about pro-black race, that's all it was. Pro-us, I'm going to protect me, I don't need you. So they were saying, yo, I don't need you, I'm going to take care of me. And you kept getting involved. That's like if I kept getting involved in your life. At some point, you going to turn around and try to smack me or some crazy shit. And granted, you're going to get beat up, but you're going to try. And then you're going to be like, yo, mind your business. Correct? But it's all right for you to get involved in our shit, and we could never say mind your business. But I'll get back to all that. You know what I mean? We'll get back to that.
But that dude at the Source Awards, he was so filthy. I've never heard no filth like that in my life. And then he heard that Farrakhan was in the audience when he was cutting up like that. He came backstage
Peep game.
and he said, "Oh, minister, I didn't know you was here.
Like what?
Please forgive me." He bowed down low. I picked him up. I said, "Brother, it's all right." I said, "But it showed you have a conscience. And I was your conscience because when you found out that I was present, you didn't want to do that. You knew you had violated me, but really you violated yourself.
Right there.
You violated your people."
Right there. Now, he's talking about some big artist at a source. I ain't even do my due diligence to even, because that's not even the point. You know what I mean? That's neither here nor there who the person was. But did you hear what he said? He said that after the artist came off stage, that he said, "Oh, Minister Farrakhan," bowed down, said he basically apologized to him, right? Check it out. He apologized to Minister Farrakhan and said, "I'm sorry, I didn't know you was in the audience. I didn't know." So now just stop right there. You see how that reserve he has for this man? Who knows if he even knew him at the time? But you see the reserve he had for that man? Now just imagine a society if we all had that same reserve for each other and for ourselves. He's talking about, Minister Farrakhan, please apologize for my performance, right? Now peep game. His performance is an art of display of emotion, which is an emotion that was created by the society and the community that he grew up in. So basically, that art is showing you what the society made him feel. On top of all of that, that is what the music industry is promoting. Because if the music industry didn't promote it, he wouldn't have been on stage to perform it. So who's the point in the wrong here? Because it sounds like that artist that he was referring to, if you ask me, it sounds like Farrakhan should have been apologizing to that artist for that artist having to endure what he endured to have to even make that song to show how he feels. Get what I'm saying? I'm not saying that Mr. Farrakhan, he should have been the one but the point is he should apologize on behalf of, just to put that person at ease. Because he's like, that shows you have a conscience. I'm your conscience. I grasp that. I comprehend it. But if he's on the Source Awards, brother, that's probably a grown-ass man. And you don't need to baby feed a grown-ass man some information. He's not a baby. He's a grown-ass man. He should be able to handle that shit. If he can get on stage and perform, give that man the whole truth, all of it. Like, you not only need to you know what I mean? You need to respect yourself more. You need to bring a light to that why they promote only the negative. You notice that? Why is that? What is music? Music is a vibration, right? Your beats, all that shit is at a certain frequency, correct? So now, if the frequency that resonates within you is a negative of nature, which is what like 98% of fucking rap music is, I'm gonna shoot you, I'm gonna rob you, I'm gonna come through in this brand new car after just killing your father, I'm about to fuck your sister, I already got your mom pregnant. It's crazy, retarded, wild, negative shit, right? And then, on top of all of that, unlike an athlete, or rather, like a running back, perfect. Like a running back in the NFL, your career is about yay long. It's about yay long. And it's a young man's sport because it's about yay long. So if you about 35, if you about 27, 29, 30, 31, 32, in the NBA where it's a physical thing, you're damn near like on your way out of your prime. And that's body-wise. As a rapper, Maheen out there. Just imagine. As a rapper, you can't even tour, like, you don't hear, trying to think. You don't hear groups like Groove Theory touring like the way the Beatles did, like the way fucking Kid Rock, all these old people in different genres, because I don't want to label it to like. But my point is, it happens in every genre except hip hop. Like, think about the message they telling you, right? We're gonna promote your most inexperienced rapper to put him out there, get him mad notoriety, all this shit, right? But as what happens in time, you start to learn the tricks of the trade, the tricks of the game, the wolves that they're trying to pull over your eyes, right? So now you're older, and you know all the bullshit they playing, all the games they playing, right? But you can't put that shit out there because now you owe to the game. The way they made the rule game set up is that you're washed up. Now at this point, when you get in your late 30s, now you wash. Niggas don't want to hear what you got to say, right? When in actuality, when you're at the wash stage, right? That's when you have the most knowledge because now you're a crazy seasoned veteran. Crazy seasoned. You've seen all the games that they played. You've seen how they played the games with other players. You see it. So now your sound should be more important than it ever was. Because now you have the mix of your hunger and plus your come up. And when you think you rose, they played the game on you and showed you that you just another nigger with some money to make the youngins that was you in your past aware of the shit that's coming. But instead, no, they shut you the fuck up. And they promote some young motherfucker, right? We're going to use the latest, for example. They promote some young motherfucker with tattoos on this motherfucker. You can tell this nigga ain't real because his persona is way too over the top. How women say, women have this fucking saying, right? It's some funny. First time I heard it, I didn't implement it the way it was intended. I implemented it in how it is in existence in life. So the women be like, yo, guys get older, they go through a midlife crisis. They'll get like this big ass car, like, cause you know, back in the day, the Corvettes were mad long, the Batman cars. So they be like, what do you have, a complex? Like you trying to, you know what I mean? So it's like, they build this complex. They build this complex that you're most important when you're your youngest, you're your most naive, and when you're at the point that you don't even care. That's when they exploit you. You don't care. Because now it's to the point that they be like, yo, if you want this, you got to do this. If you want that, you got to sacrifice that person. That person. You remember back in the days in the movies, they were like black and white when the movies first came into color. There was always some people in some jungle somewhere with a fucking virgin tied up to sacrifice her for whatever. Now they telling you got to sacrifice that person for whatever. But then when you like, yo, now you in album whatever, right? Now you like, yo, I could fall back and like, yo, hold up, B. Like, yo, instead of, peep game, instead of you saying, yo, these niggas played the shit out of me, yo, I could, for every album that sold for $15, I probably got tops 5, 6, maybe 7 max. But you don't even get that because off rips you gotta pay 50% to the fucking tax, to Uncle Sam, to Uncle Tom. You gotta pay Uncle Sam. And the way I hear is that these rappers, you gotta pay 50% off rip. Before you pay anybody. When your residual, when your money come, I guess 50% go to the government. And then the other 50% is now your 100%. Now from that 100%, you pay everybody the fuck else. Then you get your shit. Didn't you, the niggas that work the hardest, you don't even see your own money. So now when you as an artist, when you peep it all and you put it in your music, they made you irrelevant. They made you sound unattractive. So nobody would hear you. So now everyone that's your contemporaries, everyone that's in your position, They'll look at you and be like, yo, this nigga was big like Mike and Prince and Jay-Z and Tupac and whoever you want to put up there. The Beatles, Elvis, whoever. Because they will never double back and be like, yo, this is what it is, right? Instead of breaking the system and making a new system, they would rather reflect the energy that was given unto them because they feel like they were victimized and they were got through these contracts, right? Instead of making it correct, these motherfuckers will pass on the same oppression to the next motherfucker. And then 20 years from now, all these same motherfuckers is crying about the oppression that the game manifested or manipulated for you to do it to yourself. Like I say, yeah, we need them to take responsibility, but we also got to be accountable. Because how you say, the way I grew up, you can only be a victim for so long. After a certain amount of time, you're a willing participant, man. Because at a certain point, it's got to say inside of you. You got to say either, yo, kill me or make this shit right. And if in your brain, you saying, they say fight or flight mode. If you're not fighting for your life and you're not running for your life, my nigga, you're a willing participant. I don't care what your situation is. True shit. I don't care if that person can overpower you. You fight till that person kills you. True shit. So let's get back to the brother and the message he's saying. True talk. Peep game.
You gotta do better than that, brother. I don't condemn us because I love us. But at this point, I'm kind of tired. I'm tired of seeing my mothers here burying their children.
True shit.
And I believe you tired of killing. But you know how you got started? See, you didn't live in the 60s, many of you young people.
Nah.
But we who came through the 60s, we knew that there was a counterintelligence program of the U.S. government that pitted us one against the other.
Division.
And watched us kill each other, and they fostered it and destroyed black organizations and black leadership. The same dirty tricks that the CIA used to destabilize governments around the world, they used them on black organizations. Now, when the Berlin Wall fell, they brought their CIA agents back from Eastern Europe and brought them to America to work among the gangs.
You're Antifa in today's
Do you
days.
think they were working among you for peace? They were setting you up for the slaughter. In came crack, in came guns, in came territorial squabbles, in came colors, in came hand signals, in came East Coast, West Coast madness. Now you set for the slaughter. And I'm telling you, brothers, mothers, if we don't stop this now, there'll be blood in the streets, as it is written, up to the horse's bridle. They are afraid of these young men. Brothers, do you know what it's like in America to grow up and you don't have no fear of dying?
You talking about
We
people?
ain't never had a generation like you.
I know.
Negroes always been scared.
Right there. You heard him? Negroes always been scared. Right? That's what they prey on. So now imagine if you had a bunch of motherfuckers that had this attitude that I got with the brain of that motherfucker, with that guy. Imagine if I had that knowledge with this energy. That's the beast that they don't want to see. Because you have the physical strength to defend yourself and you have the knowledge to know better. That's where we're not at. It's either a lot of us are hella smart and we're emotionally weak and whatever, or we hella alpha males and we're not intelligent enough to peep game.
See you scratching. Every time the white man come along, I said, boy,
Fucking
this
crazy?
is how you survive.
We ain't trying to
You a
survive.
different breed.
You damn right.
And you such a different breed that you frighten them. And you see, if we can stop you from killing each other, then they say the next thing them niggas gonna do, and them Spanish people, they call us
baby.
spicks and niggas,
Yup.
so they're gonna turn
You
on
caught
us.
that?
Yes. So let's
Bring
get
that back a little bit. So I don't bring my race up a
in
lot.
the streets, as it is written,
Bring that back.
up to
Remember.
the horse's bridle. They are afraid of these young men. Brothers, do you know what it's like
We ain't
in
no scary
America to grow
motherfuckers.
up and you don't have no fear of dying?
You know why?
We
Niggas
ain't
is
never
tired
had
of
a
living as
generation
slaves.
like you. Negroes always been scared.
The generation you've been waiting for.
See you
They just got it
scratching.
showing it different.
Every time the white man come along,
We are your soldiers, baby.
I said, boy, this is how you survive. You a different breed. That's right. And you such a different breed that you frighten them. And you see, if we can stop you from killing each other, then they say the next thing them niggas gonna do, and them Spanish people, they call us spicks and niggas, so
We
they
are the
gonna
same.
turn on us. Yeah. So let's get
The
them
actual
before they
oppressor.
get us.
Exactly.
This is real. I understand that a couple of police got shot. They'll shoot their own
Deep game.
just to have an excuse to get at you.
A cop will shoot another
Just
cop.
like they would shoot a Crip and blame it on the Bloods, then come over on the other side and shoot a Blood. And look, brothers, they...
Now I'm gonna stop that right there. I made videos and I talked about this more than once, right? In fucking Chicago, yo, it'd be like 100 people getting lit every day. 100 people getting sparked up every day type shit. Like, what? Like, you serious? If 100 people getting shot on a daily basis type shit, if you've been the murder capital for fucking ever, A, if weapons are made for the government soldiers, where are these guns coming from? B, are you seriously thinking that it's only hood people doing these shoot? Like, you serious? Like, I'm not saying it don't, but are you serious? I keep saying this all the time. How do we not know it's not just a group? Let's say if it's an agency, they have many people, right? How we don't know it's an agency going around shooting up different hoods and making them think it's another hood. So now I come shoot up your shit, right? That's one shooting. You go retaliate to them. It's 2 shootings. They come back retaliate to you. That's 3 shootings in one day. And that's just 2. Imagine all the neighborhoods they're doing this shit in. Over and over and over. Because they helping us kill each other. Because we starting to peep game. So it looked like we starting to fall back. And they're like, nah, we can't have that. We need you to keep... When you a bully and it's a group of bullies, after a certain amount of time, even if your group of bullies is willing to sit down and talk to everyone, the one thing that they won't do is give up what they have achieved over time of bullying. They're not going to want to give that shit up, and they're going to do everything possible to keep that shit down. After a while, they're going to be like, damn, we can only bully so many people. We got to keep this population low. If we keep this population low, the ones that are conscious enough to know better, there'll be less of them. And that's the ones that we need less of. And more of the ones that are unconscious and ain't thinking and just shooting, doing drugs, doing whatever, just being distracted. You got to keep that population down. Because once it grows, they all grow. The activists, the demonstrators, the smart ones, all of it, the speakers, all of it grows as well. But if you keep that down and you manipulate your system, you will manufacture, like a stock market, a certain entity to grow and the other entity to drop. So for you that is in the hood and you don't understand what I'm saying, let's say you live in a cracked out neighborhood, right? But you a dope dealer. You don't sell crack, you sell heroin. You ain't gonna be that successful on that block because that's a predominantly crack spot. Ain't that many dope fiends coming around there. Manipulate your market. You know what I mean? Now you gotta bring it, and that's not gonna happen because everything that floods there is mainly crack. So you're better off picking up and relocating and starting your spot somewhere else that's more attractive to the people that like what you're pushing. Get what I'm saying? So now if you keeping your population at a certain level and only giving boost of things to a certain type of criteria of that species of race, which is your gangs, which is why they're getting these floods of guns and all this shit, right? You're gonna kill everybody off. The numbers are gonna stay, so the amount of smart people are gonna be balanced, opposing to it grow. Imagine it grow, right? And the amount of members in your house of gang members start to decrease. So like let's say you're a parent and you have 7 kids. Out of your 7 kids, 4 of them are gang members, right? In future hence, let's say we change society, you instead of having 7 kids, now this other society of you might have 13 kids. Now imagine you still have the same amount of gangbangers, but you have more regulars, more people that can affect the world in a more positive manner. This is why you got to keep that number low. You got to think outside. I keep trying to tell y'all. You got to think like you are the creator of the system, not like a creation of the system.
Got agents all among you. And sometimes the agent is the best Crip, the best Hoover, the best 18th Street.
Because he's not going to jail.
Because he's the one that want to lead it always.
Because he's not going
And
to
then
jail.
when you want a peace, he says, shit, I don't want no damn peace with them people. Then who paid you?
What?
Is it your job?
What? Think about that. You like, nah, I want to keep fighting. Like, have y'all ever been in a fight? You know how physically exhausting it is? You ever fought somebody straight for like 7 minutes? Straight. 10 minutes? Straight. I'm not talking about fighting somebody and you think it's been 10 minutes. You be banging out with somebody, you think it's been a half an hour. It's been like a minute and a half. Time is relevant. That shit will slow the fuck down on you. You ever fought somebody for 7 minutes straight? Like, think about that. 7 minutes straight. Just 7 minutes. But yet you're in a war and you fighting and you like, nah, I don't want to stop this. What? Who the fuck want to be at war all the time? You think you you really think that any black man don't just want to wake up in the morning, go to work all week, make his money, right? And then on his day off, get up and go to the fucking beach with his family and not worry about a fucking thing and relax and just chill and live a normal life? You think these motherfuckers want to be outside shooting guns? Like, think about that. Nah, I don't want to live in a society where we could just chill, fall back and relax and ain't got to worry about too much. I don't want that. Nah, that don't sound something that I like. I'd rather be out here getting shot at every fucking day. We'd rather have a society where if my mom is sick and my sister needs female products and I'm the one that has to go to the store, I'd rather live in a society where if I'm going to the store for them, I might not come home because I might get killed from a straight bullet that was meant for somebody else that might resemble me and might dress the same. I'd rather live in that kind of shit. Like, what? As a kid, this shit never made sense. I was like, yo, why does shit keep going, though? Like, even if I don't like you, right, and we fight and I beat your ass, right, then I see you a second time, and I beat your ass again, right, and I see you a third time, and I beat your ass again, right, I see you a fourth time, and I beat your ass again, right, fifth time, and every time I see you, I keep beating your ass. So what do you think, in 10 years from now, I'm still going to be beating your ass, or am I going to get tired of that and want to get into some other shit and progress with my life? What makes sense? Because everything you hear reflected to you. Reflect it to yourself. Because I don't care what race you are. 9 out of 10, we all going to react the same in the same situation. I don't care how friendly a dog is. You back that motherfucker up in the corner, he will get in protect mode. Like people.
To keep the stuff going, you gotta watch. I'm telling you, Muslims.
It goes everywhere.
You got agents among you, Minister Tony. I got them up around me too. Sometimes I don't know who the hell is who.
Nigga being real. He a minister. He telling you he got agents around him and he don't know who's
I know
who.
if Jesus had 12 and one of them was a devil,
Did you
I
catch
ain't as
that?
smart as Jesus.
Did you catch that? My boy went from talking from Islam to Christianity. Same fucking message, bro. Same fucking message.
I would be a fool to think that everybody that say assalamu alaikum love me. So you gotta watch the people. And everybody that is a Muslim, see, you gotta watch and listen to people who claim to be that. Listen to their talk, because they talk will tell you who they are.
All the time. Everybody.
But if you busy griping, you can't hear the talk.
Never.
So as I leave you, brothers,
For real.
sisters, we gotta stop the killing.
All day. So now, this is why I agree with your statement all the way. Right? Where the fuck is our modern day Malcolm X? Where the fuck is our modern day Martin Luther King? Where is our modern day Minister Farrakhan? Where? I could tell you where. That motherfucker probably got shot. He probably grew up autistic with one of these injections they give you as a baby. He probably ended up being a drug addict. They probably sent that motherfucker out to one of these wars in Iraq and probably fucked up his brain. Get what I'm saying? Do you see the effects? So now if we ain't killing ourselves and we pray hard enough, maybe we'll get our modern day Malcolm X in like 20 years from now. Maybe, if we're lucky. But like, what? And I say over and over again, I hate to sound like an asshole when I say this, but it's a fact. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, them brothers, them proud brothers, they died for nothing. For fucking nothing. Uncle Sam, the martyr, because everybody believe Uncle Sam is a sellout. I told y'all this shit last night on that live stream. Go do your research. Uncle Tom got killed because he wouldn't give up where the slaves escaped to. That's who Uncle Tom is. He got captured, the other slaves escaped, and he wouldn't tell the master where the slaves escaped to, and they killed his ass. They tortured him and killed him. And to make sure there was no future Uncle Toms, they made you believe that Uncle Tom is a black sellout to make sure that there's no future Uncle Toms. So what if your future Uncle Tom was Malcolm X? That's that same energy right there, that same spirit. So now think about it. Imagine if we had 1 million Uncle Toms, that got women pregnant, that gave birth to 1 million more Malcolm X's and Martin Luther Kings, that found women that got pregnant and had families and gave birth to more of who would we have today? Do you not see this cycle? I believe him 100 when he says, listen. Listen, man. Like, just listen. If you out there, right, and you clapping the automatic, what happens after a while? And that's just a machine. A machine don't have endurance. You know what I mean? What happens? That gun, when you rapid firing, that bitch get too hot, right? And when that bitch get too hot, that bitch gonna jam on you. And if you retarded and you got bad luck, that shell might pop straight up. And if you got real bad luck, that shit might pop up backwards and hit some retarded bad luck shit, right? But what that automatic weapon told you, after a certain amount of shells, it needs a break. It got to cool down. So if you following some group that never need a break and never want to cool down, maybe you with an agent, nigga, and he's keeping that energy going. Because as long as there's division, we will never solve the problem. Because we're too divided to actually, we have to come together to be able to create dialogue, to then be able to begin to figure out how to solve the problem. But before all of that, you have to break the division. If the division is never broken, it doesn't matter. Which is why I tell you about this politics bullshit. Politics is fucking bullshit, yo. It's bullshit. They literally pick the two people that's gonna push their agenda the best. And out of those two people, whoever you like the most is who gonna be president. That means that our vote don't mean shit. They picking who we could vote for. The actual power is in the selection of who we get to elect, not the electing part. It's the selecting part. That's what you're not grasping. They saying the left wing and the right wing. My nigga, that's one bird. That's the same bird. Think about that. So imagine if we just don't comply with the system. We just don't. When you need to go grocery shopping, get on your $1,000 phone, right? And research what stores, what grocery stores around you are minority owned. Because race don't matter. It's how the Constitution is set. It's 5/5 of the man and 3/5 of the man. 3/5 is everyone of color. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter where, if you're not white, you're 3/5 of a man. But again, I don't know how that citizenship shit go coming in, because I was born here. I'm telling you how it go when you born here. You know what I mean? If you 3/5, 9 out of 10, you probably a black man, Puerto Rican man, Mexican, something of non-white descent type shit. So why don't you research in your neighborhood what people fall under that category that have businesses that are in possessions of things that you need, and spend your money there? Because that person that owns that store, he is you. In other words, if you're a mechanic in the backyard working, he is you in his industry. He probably started out just like you and then got bigger and bigger and so on and so on. But if you're a backyard mechanic, you understand that you make more money in the backyard. Your industry works a little different for you to make more money. This is how your system is set. But you, as a 5/5 person, you can go into a bank and get $100,000 credit loan off the credit score that you're born with. You don't even got to do nothing. You're just born with an awesome, like, it's weird. It's 100% real. You're living, you heard what he said, you're living off the sweats and backs of the slaves that your ancestors enslaved. Your ancestors did that shit. Not you, them, right? But you're in position today from the actions that they did then. When you recognize that, maybe you can start to understand the struggle of where we come from when we're asking for and which we're asking for. And like I said, some of these dudes are so blinded and confused that they're asking them to defund the police. It's the fucking dumbest shit ever. I keep trying to reiterate this shit. It's the fucking dumbest. Prime example, I don't want to throw people's business out there, but y'all don't know them, right? I got some neighbors that was just getting into some shit, right? We're going to use it live. Let's say the community is police in the hood. How in the fuck was they going to come over here and fix this? What they going to do? If you beefing with your partner, how is they going to come? Because they not cops. When that uniform come, you know what come with that uniform. You know you're going to go to jail. You got all this whole system dedicated that comes behind that uniform. You know that these motherfuckers got a phone number that's only 3 digits that's live in every city. Like it, don't you gotta have a zip code to differentiate what number's what? With your 7 digits, so your shit is like 10. These motherfuckers got 3, and it's the same everywhere. They don't need an area code. You get direct contact. System is made for that. You know what I mean? So now when I come in, and it's me and what we gonna call us? The community boys? I don't know. The community police, the hood police. Call us the HP, the hood police. And we come through, right? And we dealing with some crazy motherfucker, and he beefing with his girl, whatever this case may be, whatever. How do we solve that? What if that person has a banger? You know why 9 out of 10 people don't shoot at cops? Because they know that a million more cops is about to fucking come, and they're gonna have bigger and more guns than him. Would that be the case with your hood police? I don't think so. I don't think if shit went crazy, these cats will be able to get a fucking tank. I don't think so. So you tell me, what is the right way to go? Wake up, man. Use your brains, man. We are 5/5. Good morning edition. Last night, man, go check the Changi show. He killed it. I was on there a lot longer than I thought. I didn't even think I was going to be on it 20 minutes. He was on that shit more than 2 hours, and it was awesome. And we're going to tackle more topics that are important to society today. We are 5/5, man. Make y'all day great.